よいよい、それならここで死ね。
Anime, defined on Google simply as a style of Japanese film and television animation, typically aimed at adults as well as children. Although in the eyes of the public, it's a bit more nuanced than that. For many years, at least from what I remember, although maybe I'm projecting just a little bit, anime was for huge fucking losers. Saying you liked anime was the high school equivalent of a negative 500 in Chinese social credit score. I had such a negative disdain towards it that although it interested in me, I actively shunned it in fear that I
become the very thing you swore to destroy.
A few years later, and look at me now, Mom. You proud yet? It seems that within the past few years, anime has become a lot more mainstream than it was beforehand. As now I'm seeing a lot more people, not only within my own circles, but also out in public, embracing anime. Whether it be in the form of t-shirts, super epic 5-minute Dragon Ball Z edits that someone posted on their Snapchat story with the intention that we would all watch it, or, maybe just bringing it up in a conversation. Perhaps it's my own yippee-dippy American perspective, or maybe I'm just attempting to justify being a dumb fucking nerd. Point is, contrary to everything I was led to believe in high school, anime is actually pretty fucking sick. Yes, there are some bad actors that give anime fans a fucking atrocious reputation. See Exhibit A. And, Exhibit B. You know what? I'm not even gonna risk Googling that one. But to be fair, what fan base doesn't have this problem? Allow me today to shed some light on the favorite medium of one of the most oppressed groups in society, second only behind gamers. Anime fans. So, I guess I wouldn't be here if I didn't like anime. To get a baseline grasp of what I look for in an anime, I'll list off some of my favorites that may just get their own video someday if I ever feel up for it. Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, Princess Mononoke, Death Note, Megalobox, Vinland Saga, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and Hunter x Hunter, just to name a few. Yeah, 8th grade me would have been pretty disappointed in myself, but then again, I'm still disappointed in 8th grade me for wearing Minecraft t-shirts to school, so touche, douchebag. With all those in mind, let's get started on the overall good anime does. This section will not be as many tropes as the later sections, but instead simply looking at things I think anime does consistently well. And yes, I recognize that anime itself isn't a genre, instead more of a medium of art, but that's for another day. Today is for generalization. I love animation in general, but holy shit, anime looks so fucking good almost all of the time. Even anime that isn't stunning visually is usually loads better than some of the shit that American animation has put out in recent memory. To be fair, I have a lot more exposure to American media, especially bad American animation. So I'm definitely more biased on this subject, but again, my video, so try to stop me. Maybe it's just because I appreciate the stylization of anime in general, but comparatively, I feel the best of American animation usually struggles to compete with some of the best of Japanese animation. The music and soundtracks for a lot of anime, for some reason, also go insanely fucking hard. Like, listen to some of this shit. Yeah, I know, I sound like a fucking weeb, but I have unironically listened through the entire Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo soundtracks all the way through, multiple times. American animation also does have some great soundtracks too, but far too frequently I feel like a random pop song is just thrown in the middle of something. That totally breaks my immersion in the show, and to be fair, maybe anime does this too. I just have no way of telling if a random K-pop BTS song is thrown in the middle of a Naruto fight because I don't speak Japanese. The story in at least some of my favorite anime is some fucking amazing shit. To be fair though, there's also a lot, and I mean a lot, of anime with some trash-ass garbage storytelling. In fact, you know what? No one cares about my opinions, what shows I like. Let's just start hating on some stuff, right?
No, this isn't happening! There's no reason for me to go on. What am I fighting for?
Convenient story beats have plagued anime for as long as I can remember. It was a bias I held against anime before I got into it, and it's a realized stereotype that tends to hold true. Whether it's Boo's secret move that helps him take down King Bowser in the penultimate episode of the show, or an antagonist's secret weakness to Szechuan sauce that accidentally gets spelled on them, it's never fucking satisfying.
That was the power of the Szechuan sauce.
It never makes sense, and it always feels contrived. It feels exactly like the bad movie plot twists of Mr. M. Night Shyamalan himself. Don't even get me started on the power of friendship. Yes, I understand that a lot of anime is meant for children with the intention of instilling good ideals into their impressionable minds, but let me be a bitchy man-child for a second, because even as a child, that shit felt lame as fuck. Don't get it twisted. I wasn't no Jimmy Neutron boy genius. I was a fucking glue stick eating, multi-scrapped sandal wearing, triple dog daring gremlin, and even I was like, yo, this shit kinda stupid. Another thing anime is great at doing is breaking any tension or decently choreographed action scenes by full-out stopping them so that two characters can sit down and chat at tea time. Save the talking for before or after the fight. Stop interrupting that shit, because that shit would never happen in real life. You don't see fucking Floyd Mayweather talking about all his hard-fought battles and the sensei that trained him in the ways of the blade in the middle of a boxing match.
Oh man, it's a cartoon for children.
I don't care. I don't care. I will bitch and complain as much as I want because it ruins even more mature shows. And hey, we haven't gotten to this section yet, but if you've seen some of the anime that's out there, that shit is not meant for children. Another gripe I have during fight scenes is the stupid screaming of characters of their special move. Most of the time that shit is never defined beforehand, it's just like they come up with it on the spot. Some dudes will be in the middle of fighting and someone will yell, "Dorito Duster Diaper Attack," and hit the character with a fucking AK. It's almost laughably bad how nonsensical the names can be. Speaking of humor, at least with the stereotypical humor thrown into some of the anime I've seen, I just don't think it's funny. It could definitely be a cultural gap, but I just don't see what's funny about someone doing something dumb, then having a close-up shot with them making a weird face with a random colorful background. I just don't get it. Wait. What's that sound? What is that? Let me make this clear and quick. I don't like sexual content in pretty much any form of media. It's weird, distracting, it's awkward, it makes me feel very uncomfortable, and in some cases it's just really boring. But anime has monopolized lewd content more than anyone ever could, in the worst possible ways. Like, hey man, I won't hate if you're into some cat girls and shit and body pillows, but man, stop doing weird shit with children. End of Ava, I'm looking at you. What the fuck was that abomination of a scene? Evangelion could get its own video. Although I think Questionably did a fantastic video on it already, which would cover pretty much everything I would have to say, but Jesus Christ. I don't want to see that. Who wants to see that? My motto is, why put it in the media when a certain thing that starts with P and rhymes with corn exists? Just keep that shit out of any sort of mainstream content unless there's explicit reasons that are entirely vital for the story to progress for it to be in there. But this should not include children. Just fucking ever. And man, if we're talking about bad fans, like, we know exactly what you mean, man, when you say you like those girls in animes. I don't care if
She's a secret space witch that's actually 500 years old in elvish years.
Just nope, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I think you guys get the point. Yeah, anime is great, or at least it can be sometimes. And yeah, I know I went on a little rant there. Yeah, it was a bit much. But if you haven't checked that anime, I'd say give it a shot. It's not okay. It is that bad sometimes, but when it's not, it's really great. And at the end of the day, it is just a medium of art, not a genre. And it shouldn't be defined by its stereotypes. Most of the time. And on that note, I also really want to say a quick thank you to everyone who's been watching the content, as we hit 1K subscribers around a week ago and are still fucking climbing somehow. It doesn't feel real to me, to be honest, but now that I have people watching my videos that aren't me, I guess I'd love to hear what you guys' thoughts are below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you not care in the slightest? If so, I'm not entirely sure why you're here, but I appreciate it. I don't know. I feel pretty right about this one, but there's probably a pretty great chance I'm just being a hypercritical asshole. Take care.